Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Vicky Marie. I live in mainland Spain, um, and it is Monday morning. If you're watching this live, it's just 4 minutes past 11 in the morning. It's not raining here today, no rain. It's quite a nice sunny day outside. So hopefully normal sunny service is resumed in Spain after all the disastrous rain and floods that we've had. So in this video, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone. Let me put my little banner on. Though, do you know what? I think Nightbot will be here later probably to jump in and just remind you all to subscribe and press like, etc. So thank you everyone who watches my videos. Thank you everyone who is subscribed to my channel, who likes my videos, shares my videos. They're all free ways you can help the algorithm of my channel. And a special thank you, as always, to my members. Tonight is Members Live, the Carry On Chatting Members Live. Why not join in the chat tonight? We're going to be talking about the American election, I think. I thought it's about time we talked about it and we can have a little, I say a little laugh. It's very serious, of course. But you know what? There's so many different views on the American election, but it's coming up. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we will have a new American president. So I think we'll talk about that in the members live tonight. And we'll have a good debate about it. It always causes, whenever we talk about politics, there's always some, lively debate, let's say. Anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about now. Oh my God, I'm walking wounded today. I stubbed my toe yesterday on a chest of drawers in my bedroom. Oh my God, you know how that hurts when you stub your toe. And it's like, I think it's my little toe or the one next to my little toe. Oh my God, I'm positive I've broken it. Really, really painful. So I'm not exactly quick at the best of times. Now it takes me half an hour to get from the computer into the kitchen because I'm limping. Oh my God, it is so painful. Anyway, I had a Spanish class before this live, and it's a doctor that I'm teaching Spanish to, and she told me, no point in going to the hospital. There's nothing they can do. The only thing you can do is maybe bandage, support it by bandaging your toes up, but they won't do anything. So there's no point in going to the hospital, even if you think you might have broken it, which I won't be surprised at. It's very, very painful. So yeah, I'm the walking wounded this morning, but just lots of people got worse problems than I've had, but it's just, if I have to go anywhere, put the dog in the bathroom or, I don't know, go and get a drink or anything, just to warn you, I'll be slow. It's even slower than normal. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about Madeleine Soto. We haven't talked about this case for a little while. Let's have a look at little Madeleine. Well, let me put a picture up in the corner. Just a little reminder of what's happened with this case. Madeleine, it was her 13th, this photo was taken when she had her 13th birthday party back in February this year. Following day, she went missing and she was found deceased a few days later. And it turns out her so-called stepfather, that's how they seem to refer to him, Stephan Stearns, I don't think I've got a photo of him, but it doesn't matter really. Probably I've got, no, I haven't. He had a lot of, hundreds of images on his phone, sex images of Madeleine, and it seems like he and Madeleine, he was abusing Madeleine for years, probably 5 years at least. Now, of course, it will be coming up to the trial where he's going to be tried, first of all, for the offences of having the child pee on his phone. That be, I think it's sometime next year. And then later next year, I think in the September, in the fall time, he will be charged with Madeline's murder. We've been following this case, haven't we, off and on each time that new evidence comes out, because they're in the sort of the stage of the trial where the prosecution has to disclose what evidence it's got, etc. So there's evidence coming out all the time, it seems like every week. There's another audio interview that comes out, or another piece of evidence or information that comes out. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk today about, there's a lot of consternation about these coins. I'm not saying these aren't the actual coins, these are a representation. But it turns out that somebody texted, it's been redacted, who actually texted Stephan Stearns to say, we need this, get it for us, please. So who texted Stephan Stearns? Somebody definitely texted him, because that is definite, that has come out. This text was sent to Stephan Stearns. We need this, get it for us, please. And the question that everybody's asking is, who texted him to ask him to get these new parent decision coins? Was it Madeline or was it Jen? And why? Even if it was Jen, why did she do this? So these are like things that we'll have a look at them on Amazon in a moment. These are sort of these coins that you can buy for people having babies. You know, they're a bit of fun, like, you know, I suppose if, you know, where it's like if, you know, the baby starts crying in the middle of the night and it's like the mum and the dad are like, oh God, it's your turn to go and see to them. No, it's your turn, it's your turn. And these coins, I think they're like just a bit of fun, like, so you flip the coin. I don't really understand how they work. I've never heard of them before. But anyway, they're available to buy on Amazon as like a present for a baby shower or, you know, a bit of fun. But why would either Madeline or Jen, who supposedly Jen and Stephan were not having an sex relationship anymore, but somebody texted Stephan Stearns with this message about these coins. We need this, get it for us, please. And that message was sent on the 16th of December 2023. And Madeline died in February this year, didn't she? So, yeah, who sent that? Who sent that message? Was it Jen? Why did Jen send it? Because they supposedly weren't having any sort of relationship by then. Or was it Madeline? And why would Madeline send it? So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what Let's Chat, because that's what we're going to chat about. But first of all, I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hi, Claire. Hi, David. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Laurie. Hi, Kelly. Hi, David. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Maria. Hi, Rose Petal from London. So, yeah, who sent these coins and why? Now, it's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? Because why would Madeline send them? You know, there's been all this speculation about whether Madeline was pregnant or not. And nothing has been confirmed officially, but generally people are saying, no, she wasn't. some people are saying she wasn't because there would have been further charges laid, against Stephan. But of course, because of Madeline's age, the forensic report, the autopsy report, can't be made public. So, I mean, was she pregnant, or were they talking about having children? The thing is, to me, I think what we have to remember here is the relationship, if you like. It wasn't a relationship, it was abuse. But maybe Madeline felt like she was in a relationship. And, I've said before, a lot of abusers, they don't do it with aggression or violence. They do it with love. Madeline will have been groomed. She's a young girl. Did she feel like she was in some sort of relationship with Stephan Stearns, that she thought maybe, as she just sort of hit puberty, was she thinking she could have a baby? Because young girls, they don't see the implications of having a baby. It's like they just maybe think, oh, I'd like to be a mom, and they're not thinking of the implications of what it means for the rest of their lives, etc. Even as an adult, it's difficult to grasp all that. So sometimes young girls do get pregnant. Sometimes they want to. It's not like, because they don't want to. It's just, just happens, doesn't it, sometimes? So a lot of teenagers get pregnant, don't they? And was Madeline, this is what I would like to find out when this all comes. Did Madeline did she really hate Stephan so much? Because she had told, and it's possible that she did, because she had told some of her friends and teachers, etc., that she couldn't wait for him to move out. He was weird and he was this, that, and the other. But then we get a different story, don't we, from, obviously from Stephan himself, but, not that we've heard much from him, but from his parents, saying he was the go-to person, when there was arguments between Jen and Maddie, the normal sort of mother and teenage girl sort of arguments. Stephan said he was the go-to person, wasn't he, that to break it up, to pour oil on troubled waters, all this rubbish. And his mum and dad said that as well, didn't they? But they would, his mum actually described Madeline as precocious towards Stephan, didn't she? And they all described Stephan as the stepdad. So, but having said that, then we have this conflicting information that Madeline herself had said to some of her friends and her teachers, etc., that, she wanted to go and live in the woods. He was weird. She didn't want him to move back in, or she was glad that he'd left. So we've got a lot of conflicting information. We don't know exactly what the situation was. Now, because quite often in these sort of abusive relationships, even the abused person feels like they are in a relationship, because she doesn't know. She's not worldly. She doesn't have any. She's 13 years old, and he's making a big fuss of her. He's probably telling her, "You're my girlfriend. You're my little secret. You're this. You're that," and making Madeline feel special. It was the whole family situation is very odd, isn't it? Jen's just in her own world. I mean, as I've said many times, I don't feel like Jen was complicit in any of this. But having said that, we might get some evidence come out tomorrow that she was, and I have to, admit I was wrong then. But at the moment, I think the police would have arrested Jen if they thought she had anything to do with anything. But I think we can safely say she's just totally on a different planet, sending her daughter off to bed with Stephan and not thinking that was strange at all. Obviously, it wasn't right, but she just put her own, she wanted a good night's sleep, and that was it as far as she's concerned. But then, of course, we do not know yet whether she was being, given extra medication and stuff like that. So there's so much that we don't know yet. So I'm quite reluctant to really bash Jen until we know that, because she was probably groomed also. Stephan groomed the whole family, really. But there's lots more to find out, isn't there? There's lots more to come. So this is the question, though, that we're talking about today, is what the hell are these coins about? Who, either Jen or Madeline, send a message to Stephan and say, we need this, get it for us, please. So I had a look on Amazon. I personally have never heard of him before. I don't know if any of you have know about them. Maybe you've got them. I don't know. I mean, why do you need it? I mean, I can see how it's like a fun little present you might put for somebody's baby shower, but really you wouldn't need them, would you? But anyway, new parents' decision coins. And as I say, these are not the actual ones. I'm just looked on Amazon to look at them, to see what they were like. So yeah, there seem to be. So flip for your fate. So what do? You flick it and it tells you whether it's your turn or not. Is that what? Does anyone know anything about them? So they're cheap. They're only $3.99. Because the thing I thought was, if they were Jen's, surely Jen would get them herself, wouldn't she? She's a grown adult. Would it? Oh, look at that baby, cutie. They wouldn't Jen order them herself? Why would she? Unless she was just having a joke with Stephan. Why would she message Stephan and say, we need these? Why wouldn't she just order them? And why would they need them? Was it just to make, were they thinking of having children? I mean, from what has been said so far, they weren't even sleeping together by now. So, they'd be struggling to have children, wouldn't they? But there were 2 unused pregnancy tests, because Jen was asked that in one of her interviews. It was funny. If you remember back when we were listening to Jen being interviewed, the police kept harping on about Madeline's cycle, didn't they? They were like, did you think it was funny that do you remember when she last had her period? Did you think it's funny when she didn't have one, when she normally had one? All those sort of questions they were asking. There's definitely got, if Madeline was not actually pregnant, then there's a reason why the police are asking all these questions. It might be because of these coins. It might be because of these coins. They're trying to find out if Stephan and Madeline had ever talked about having children. I mean, it's just horrible to think about. She was a child. She's 13 years old. Why would they be having that conversation? But were they? Were they? Right, let me just see if I've missed anybody coming in. Hi, Jem. So, yeah, I'm just, hi, Laurie. Maria, hi. I've never seen them before. Yeah, everybody's saying, yeah, well, you don't need a coin, do you, to remember whose turn it is. But you know what? You can buy all sorts of crap now, can't you, on Amazon? This is, what people do, don't they? They buy a load of crap for baby showers. There's all these things for everything. I bet you can get them cheaper on Temu. So $3.99 on Amazon, you can probably get them for £1 on Temu. It does seem like a silly thing, but yeah. The question is, who the hell was texting this to Stephan? Now, see, it did occur to me that maybe it was just generally, like if, I don't know, because it seemed like Jen seemed to rely on Stephan a lot for parenting. And it was certainly, at least for some time, that she felt, she thought of Stephan as a stepfather, somebody who, let me try and put this, trying to put it where I can, there you go. Yeah, was it just in general, like, was it a joke thing? Like, I don't know, maybe not to do with sort of babies. See, the thing is, I can't see that she was suggesting this to Stephan about Madeline, because Mummy and Daddy, Madeline was 13 by now. So it's too young, isn't it? It's talking about babies, isn't it? It's got the bloody baby feet on it. Why else would you get them? It's got to be to do with babies. We need these. Get it for us, please. Now, apparently, somebody on another channel I was watching said that they could see. I haven't sent off for this information yet. I'm probably not going to send off for it. I'll wait till the next evidence drop. But somebody was saying that they could see, although it had been redacted, because they've redacted the names on a lot of this evidence, on these evidence dumps that they do, for whatever reason, they take out the names. But this person was saying that it definitely looked like it was from Madeline. Why would Madeline? I mean, honestly, it's really quite creepy, isn't it? Why would Madeline send that? We need this. Get it for us, please. Oh, it makes me go cold, because I just think maybe there were, maybe she did feel like they were in a relationship. And, there's a man who's nearly 40 years old having like some pseudo relationship with a 13-year-old. There's a thing about Stephan, is he thought he was 13 in his head, didn't he? He still does, probably. He's just like a kid playing his video games, doing his Tamagotchi, doing his Warhammer, not working. He's not doing those things as hobbies, like, or to chill. That's his way of life. He's living like a 14-year-old in his head, so I do feel that in his head, I really do feel that Stephan would think he was having a relationship with Maddie, and of course Maddie was only 13, so she wouldn't be aware of the absolute horribleness of that relationship. Even if he was being, he was probably being very nice to her, very affectionate towards her. Who knows what went wrong that final sort of night. It's a big surprise to me that he did take Madeline away, because he was enjoying Madeline. He had a great time for 5 years. He's there, he's like the unchallenged alpha male in that household. Jen is leaving everything to him. He's getting away with murder. He doesn't even have to work full time. And he's getting to look after Madeline and abuse Madeline whenever he feels like it. So why would he take that away from himself? Why would I do feel... Go in the bathroom. Go on. I do feel that he must have, something happened. What happened to sort of stop that enjoyment? Either was she pregnant, or was she talking too much about, even if she wasn't pregnant, maybe she was talking about having children, saying she wanted a child. Maybe she was pressurizing him too much and he realized it was, and then maybe she threatened to tell people. Or did she turn around and say no, because now she was 13 and she felt like she didn't have to do that anymore? So it's a real mystery to me why, after all those years of basically enjoying himself. People like that, they don't normally, don't normally sort of take away their pleasure, if you like. Why did he kill her when he was sort of, having a great time, basically, wasn't he? So something happened, didn't it? Something happened to cause that to happen, that he actually took Madeline's life. Will we ever? I don't know if we'll ever find out, because I can't see that Stephan Stearns is ever going to be honest. Is he ever going to really tell the truth about what happened? Now, something interesting that came up when we were listening to when we were listening to, oh my God, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh, that's right. When we were listening to the interviews of Stephan Stearns' phone call to his parents from prison, do you remember he said, I didn't start it. I didn't start it. What does he mean by that? I didn't start it. So is he saying that Jen started it? Or is he saying that Madeline started it? I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out with some crap like that, that Madeline led him on. I could just see him saying it, and I'm laughing at it, not because it's funny, because it's laughable that an 8-year-old child would lead somebody on, even if they did try to get a bit affectionate with you or whatever, it's just like, no, isn't it? It's, children do get affectionate and stuff, but he's the adult, and it's his responsibility to not take it any further. Is he going to blame it on Madeline? Honestly, now since he said that, I didn't start it. What does he mean? Who started it then? Or is he saying that Jen started it? Is he going to come out and say that Jen was involved with this abuse? This is what we've just got to wait and see. We don't know, do we? We literally do not know. Just making sure. Oh, here's Nightbot. Hi, Nightbot, honey. Yes. Why not consider becoming a member? I do love this Nightbot. Yeah, I didn't start it, he said. So, yeah, maybe, Kelly, you'll start pretending that Jen started it when she sent them to bed together. I mean, she was stupid. Whatever happens, whether she ever gets, arrested for any more than that, everybody, I think one thing we all disagree on whether we think she was complicit in the abuse or not. But I think one thing everybody agrees on is she should never have obviously sent him up to bed. Ow! Oh, this bloody dog just stood on my broken toe. She's a big galoot, honest to God, this. She's such a galoot. She tries to get so close to me. She's always standing on my feet. And as at the moment, I've got what I think is a broken toe. That was painful. Anyway, so yeah, whatever, Jen has got, no clue. We don't know if she was being medicated. I personally, God, it's put me off. I wouldn't take a drink off anyone now, I don't think. But, someone like Stephan, finding out what he used to do when he was young and that, putting SEMEN in the drinks of the girls at his college and things like that. He's not beyond anything, Stephan. And all Stephan cares about is himself. He's not expressed any remorse, or he's supposed to have loved Madeline, but he hasn't. it's all about him, isn't it? Him and his parents the same. Not once, again, in that phone call that we listened to, not once did any of them say, poor Madeline, what she must have gone through, or, oh, the thought of a lion out there, and those parents of his, that in all intents and purposes was their step granddaughter. She'd been and stayed at their house. They had a relationship with her. It wasn't someone they'd never met. And not one of them, not once did they say, oh, that poor girl, what she went through, or poor Maddie, being taken from this earth at 13 years old. All they're interested in is Stephan. Hi, Wesley. Now, somebody else on another channel that I was watching said maybe Stephan is covering up for Jen. And the person who was doing the stream said something that I completely agree with. I don't think there's any way Stephan would cover up for Jen. If Stephan thought he could get himself out of this situation by dropping Jen right in it, if Jen had done something, he would be singing away about it. He's not going to try and save Jen's skin for himself. He's not going to sacrifice himself to save Jen. He only cares about himself. All he's cared about all his life is himself. He doesn't care about he's a complete narcissist, and he's been made that way by his parents, who've let him get away with murder all his life, bailed him out of every problem he's ever had. He's not going to try and save Jen's skin. I don't believe that for a minute. I think if Jen had done something, he would be the first to dob her in my opinion, because if it would help him, if it would save him. That's what I believe. If it would save him by dobbing Jen in or saying something about Jen, I think he would have done that a million times already, if it was true. Now, what's going to happen when the trial comes, who knows? But as I say, I can't believe that Stephan Stearns would be trying to protect Jen. Why? He doesn't care about anybody but himself. You heard it in that telephone call to his mum and dad. He don't care about them. He didn't even phone his mum on her birthday or on Mother's Day. He said, oh, we were locked down. Funny that, isn't it? But this day that he wanted to phone because he wanted them to put more money in his commissary, they weren't locked down that day, were they? Funny that, isn't it? Only locked down on the days when it would be to do something nice for his mum, like phone her and say happy birthday or happy Mother's Day. He didn't do that because they were locked down. I didn't believe a word that came out of his mouth. And his mum's just calling him sweetheart. And oh my God, that I think you can see the problems right there. They're completely in denial about what Stephan's role is in this. They're dying to blame Jen, and they're just dying to blame Jen because they don't want to think that they're golden balls. And he hasn't got golden balls. I've seen his balls, and believe me, they're not golden. You can't see him through the hair anyway. Ugh. Oh God, I've reminded myself again about his about having to see his. Ugh. Anyway, so they're more concerned about their golden ball son. That if he did do anything well, it must have been Jen's fault. It's like when you have kids and it's, oh, well, it must be the other kids that got into a bad crowd. You never think your kid is the bad crowd. I suppose that's just human nature for parents in some ways, but not with something as serious as this. And all the photos, that he'd taken. Oh, and 600 images, and his parents still think he's golden balls. Because let's imagine for a moment the most unlikely thing. I think that Jen Jen had instigated it all. Shut up. Let's imagine that Jen had instigated it all for a moment. Still, she didn't make him take 600 images. And also, he had images on his other computer. He had loads of images of Child P going back before Madeline. So, you know, all these have got to come out yet, haven't they? So, you know, you can't... you know, he can't blame it all on Jen, even if she had anything to do with it. He's the one with all the images on his phone. Jen didn't have any images on her phone, you know, and I think the police tried to sort of get things out of Jen. And anyway, my opinion, I don't think Jen had anything. So I think Jen is probably going through a really difficult time at the moment, because she probably feels as guilty as hell. You know, if she's managed to come out from a medication haze, it'll be interesting. It was interesting to see how Jen, you know, pictures I've seen of Jen before she met Stephan, and then how she deteriorated. Well, they both deteriorated. They were definitely bad for each other. Definitely was a toxic relationship. Jen just deteriorated badly while she was with Stephan, and all that medication she was taking. You know, she literally needed a tablet to, you know, open the curtains. It's like too much, you know. I know some people need medication for things like, supposedly she's bipolar, etc. People need medication, I know that, but I think, you know, sometimes people go overboard with medication. You've got to, you know, I don't know. And I do think what I've noticed is in America, just like in Britain, the doctors are prescription happy. They give you a prescription for everything. You know, sometimes what I noticed since I've lived in Spain, because also in, you know, I've taken a lot of people to the doctors as an interpreter. So I've had a lot of experience with GPs in Spain. They're very reluctant to give out medication. You know, it's like a real, if they offer you some medication here, you do need it. You know, I think they haven't got this same relationship with pharma and that. You know, don't forget, a lot of prescriptions that people are given, they're like, you know, there's money in it for the pharmaceutical companies, isn't there? So, you know, some people do need medication and medication obviously has helped us to live longer lives and more healthy lives. But I do think there's a line, isn't there? And what I've noticed here is, like, for example, if I give you an example, I took a guy, an elderly guy who came over to Spain to live, and he said, oh, I've got to go to the doctors because I've got to get all my prescriptions sorted out. So, of course, then, as now, to be honest, even though we're not in the European Union anymore, if you're a pensioner and a resident, you can still get your prescriptions free. You know, you just have to go and sort it out and take your paperwork from the pensions office in the UK, etc. But this was before Brexit, when it was even easier. Just the fact you had a British passport meant that you got everything free here if you're a pensioner. So I took him to the doctor, and the doctor's going, I said, well, bring a list of your medications. Oh my God, this guy was on about 15 different medications for all sorts of things. Some things he needed, like high blood pressure tablets or whatever. But he was on antidepressants. And the doctor said, oh, how long have you been on the antidepressants? And they were strong ones, you know, one of those like, oh God, like Valium type, Dozapine or something like that was called. He said 20 years or something he'd been on these antidepressants. The doctor just couldn't believe it, because here, and he'd just been keep getting repeat prescriptions. So he wasn't on there for 20 years because he'd been back to the doctor and the doctor had said, bye, Jem. When he wasn't still on them because he'd kept going back to the doctors and the doctor had, asked him how he was, and he'd had a repeat prescription of these sedatives, strong antidepressants, for 20 years. So the doctor wasn't very pleased with that. And that's happened loads of times. It's just like you get on a prescription, then it's just repeat. Whereas here you're supposed to go every now and again. They reassess what you should be having on it. Anyway, so I've just noticed they're not as prescription happy maybe as they are in the UK. Oh, Wesley, your neighbour. Gosh, it's not like you to swear, Wesley. You might have to replace that with twonk. You might have to replace that with twonk. Oh dear. It's not like you to swear, Wesley. I don't think I've ever seen you swear before on here. Okay, so what's the situation with these coins? Will we find out? Just seems like a weird thing, doesn't it? Who would send that message to Stephan about these coins? It doesn't seem relevant for either of them. You're talking about Jen. What? His actual name? Wesley. We're talking about Jen, who supposedly wasn't even sleeping with Stephan anymore. And don't forget, these are supposed to have been, this message was, let's put the message up again. This message was supposed to be sent. Well, it was dated the 16th of December 23. And so by then, Stephan and Jen supposedly were not in a relationship, but somebody sent this message to Stephan about those coins saying, we need this, get it for us, please. So was it just a jokey thing about, who should clean up? You wouldn't even think in a million years to get that for your partner unless there was a baby involved, would you? Or was it Madeline who sent this text? Apparently, people are saying it was Madeline. Why would Madeline send this to Stephan? Why? Just weird, isn't it? It's very odd. Just another odd thing in this very odd case. Still a long way to go because the trials aren't till next year. So having said that, we're coming very close to the end of the year already, aren't we? My God, where is the time going? It's just unbelievable, isn't it? It'll be Christmas soon before you know it. Of course, we lost Halloween, all right. On this channel, we didn't really do Halloween because of all the floods and everything. I just couldn't do a Halloween stream. But, we need to do a fun stream soon, don't we? But, of course, we've got Christmas coming up and we usually have some fun at Christmas and New Year. But maybe before that, I'll do something sort of a little bit fun. So, yeah, what do we think? Very strange. Very odd, and I'm sure there'll be more odd things, more strange things that will come out. Wesley. Oh, Wesley, you do make me laugh because you're asking if it's swearing. Yes. That's why I say twonk. Twonk. Use twonk instead, because I try and use twonk because TWAT is a bit of a bad word, though it does come out of my mouth sometimes on YouTube. Just can't help it sometimes. So yeah, maybe Jen who sent it from Madeline's phone. Oh, from Madeline's phone. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah, we don't know yet if they used each other's phones interchangeably. I suppose depending on your child's age, you might use your child's phone. Children sometimes use their parents' phone, don't they? But I think by the time your child gets to 12, 13, God, they won't let you anywhere near their phone. Well, Kelly didn't know it was a swear word. What? TWAT? It is a swear word, isn't it? Am I imagining that? But it is in Manchester anyway. I mean, it's not the worst word you could use. The worst word is the CUNT word, but TWAT is a similar type thing. Oh, you mean in a devious way, Kelly? Well, I don't think Jenny's devious. I don't think she's capable of being devious, in my opinion. But other people have different opinion. That's that's fine. But yeah, maybe. But Jen, she's not very devious, is she? Really? I mean, she doesn't strike me as devious at all. She strikes me as stupid, to be honest. In another world, totally sort of just like she's in her own world. It's all about medication, etc. It's all about her tablets. You hear her with the police, I've got to get in there because I've got to get my tablets. She's so reliant on those tablets. It's like everything to her. It's so important. Maria, like a twit. Oh, twit. No, well, twit. You can say twit, Wesley. That's fine, but no. TWAT is a swear word. Well, but where I come from. But do you know that's it? Swear words are different wherever you come from. It's like in Spain. Son of a bitch is the worst swear word you can use in Spanish, of course. Whereas you can use the word CUNT, coño. I've got to remember that YouTube picks it up. But it's not a swear word in Spanish. So CUNT in Spanish is coño, and it's not a bad word. So, people use it all the time. So different countries give different weight, don't they, to different swear words. Yeah, maybe they were talking, maybe Jen and Stephan were talking about having children. So she did have these 2 pregnancy tests, unused pregnancy tests, in the kitchen, because the police asked her about that. The police are quite obsessed with the pregnancy thing, with the question that they did, but it could be because of these coins. Because I was thinking, they were asking Jen so much about Madeline's periods, etc., and mentioning that why do you think she, her periods changed, or did she have a period? They were quite obsessive about it, which is what's always led me to question: was she pregnant? Why have they got this obsession with pregnancy? But it could be something to do with these coins. We just don't know. There'll be all sorts of evidence that will come out that we don't know about yet. So we've got a few different possibilities there. Either Madeline was sort of in love with Stephan, in a groomed kind of way, and was thinking she might have children with him. Stephan has no children, luckily. He has no children, does he? He's never had any children. As far as I know, does anyone know any different? He has no children, does he, Stephan Stearns? Luckily. So maybe they were talking about, or maybe Jen and he were talking about having children. But that seems strange, seeing how they weren't by that time. They were both seeing other people. And in fact, they weren't sleeping together anymore. In fact, and do you know what? The other reason that I think Jen never thought anything about sending Stephan off to bed with Madeline is because he'd had problems, hadn't he, in the bedroom department. So she was probably not even thinking that he could even get it up. Never mind, be abusing her daughter, but that's a possibility as well, I suppose. Hi, Seffi. A safe day chart for the girl. Well, I don't know that. I haven't. Where did you see that? I'd have to have that confirmed. I have never seen that. So, but I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I've never seen that. Yeah. So all the mysteries in this case. Now, of course, everyone's talking that Jen's in a sanatorium of some kind. Stephan's parents were saying that they thought she was being hidden away. Maybe she is. Maybe charges will come. Maybe she's pretending to be crazy and because to try and avoid being charged. I mean, I literally don't know. Hello, darling. I know you want some attention. You always want some attention. So, no, I agree. I don't think I never said that mental health was an excuse. I'm just saying that might be what she's doing. So, wouldn't be the first time someone's done that, would it? But she can't do that forever. That's the thing. So if that is what she's doing, and I'm not saying it is what she's doing either, I'm just throwing different possibilities out there. If that is what she's doing, yeah. Go in the bathroom. If that is what she's doing, she can't do it forever. So, and people that do that, or try to do that, they normally get caught out in the end. I mean, they think psychiatrists, psychologists are stupid. They're not that stupid. They know, it often happens with people who've done bad things that they try and pretend they're mad. But the thing about Jen is they didn't find anything on her phone. They're not considering her a suspect. I think we've got to remember that. So, the other thing we've got to remember about Jen is she did already have mental problems. We don't know how. Just sometimes I just think if Jen is innocent, she's lost her daughter. We're going to see other cases. We'll get really upset about Madeleine. But, at the end of the day, it's not our daughter. That is Jen's daughter who's been murdered by her ex-partner. She's been, if she is completely innocent, she'll be feeling more stupid. She'll be feeling more stupid than anything and guilty, all those things. And we don't know Jen, so we don't know that she's not feeling like that, do we? There's been this sort of everybody angry with Jen, and rightly so. I do think she's been stupid, but we don't know for certain, do we, that it was deliberate or that she's done anything terrible to Madeleine. I just think Jen, and also we don't know, and this is a big thing for me. I don't know what Stephan Stearns has been putting in her drinks. Because and it just seems just lately, maybe you notice it more. Have you noticed how that is with cases? Like, you see the case of Nicola Bulley, a woman dying in a river, and then you start noticing other women drowning in rivers and what have you. And what I've noticed since this case the most is how many people drug their partners. Oh my God. It seems like, but I've seen one case after another. Maybe, as I say, I'm just noticing it more. Putting medication in people's smoothies. Oh, I'll make you a cup of tea, dear. Or putting poison in their food, and men and women poisoning their partner slowly in their food or in their drinks. It's much more common than you think. So that's it. I want to end up like Michael Jackson, where, only eat or drink things you prepare yourself. And, you can get paranoid about this sort of thing, because you see it happens. People do it, it happens more than you think. So, we'll see. So, well, things come out in the trials, don't they? We've got a long way to go till the trial. There'll be more evidence that will come out in the meantime. Maybe tomorrow Jennifer Soto gets arrested. We just don't know, do we? But we're just having our speculations. But this is a very, very strange thing about these coins. There's a reason for it. It's just, what is the reason? It's a very strange thing, isn't it? Because they're not, you know, they're not common things. I'd never heard of him before. Now, whether Madeline had gone to a, maybe Madeline or Jen or whoever had gone to a baby shower and seen them. You know, and seen them and thought of him, but oh God, oh God, David, if I'd ever met Stephan Stearns and ever been his girlfriend or ever been even his parent or any member of his family now, I would be questioning everything. Every bit of food he ever gave me, every drink he ever gave me, I'd be like suspicious of it, you know, thinking back about it. I won't put anything past him. You know, maybe he drugged his parents sometime when he wanted to rob their money, or, you know, because they've even accepted that he stole money from them. God knows, you know, I don't think Stephan Stearns, I don't think there's anything that he's not capable of. But it's all going on in, you know, he's very good at this sort of, you know, we know what he's done now. That's why we're not taken in by it. But he's got this real pathetic sort of persona. Oh yeah, and I went, you know, in the whiny voice, and you know, people wouldn't suspect what a monster he was. And when he was younger, he was quite a good-looking guy, wasn't he? So, you know, I don't think you'd call him good-looking now. He's completely gone to seed, hasn't he? I mean, he's not even 40 yet. He looks about 60. But yeah, he's, you know, oh God, the thought of it, oh, it's horrible. Just the thought of it. He said, oh, you wouldn't have a milkshake. Look at the woman in France whose husband drugged her and she got raped by all those men. You know, honestly, I've read so many cases just lately, and not only, as I say, not only women who've been drugged by their husbands or partners, but men as well, poisoned with antifreeze gradually over time or just in one big hit. You know, remember that woman with the mushrooms, with the poisonous mushrooms that wiped out her husband's family practically, with the mushroom dinner, the beef Wellington, was it, or something like that? You know, so you can't put anything past anybody, can you? So I'm not going out for dinner anymore at anyone's house. Oh God, you know, in the end, I'll just be sat here in front of this computer like, oh, I'm not going, I'm not doing that. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, even when you go to restaurants and that, you know, just don't know, dear. Just don't know what's going in your food. Anyway, so I thought I'd come on and talk to you about this. Thank you for caring about Madeline, of course. Oh, sorry. Just one thing I want to say before I go. Somebody else did say it can't be to do with abuse, can it? Surely, like, you know, that just made me go cold when I saw or heard somebody saying, is it like for the abuse, you know, mummy's turn, daddy's turn? No, please God, that cannot be, please God, that just made me go cold. Yeah, horrible thought. Anyway, on that nice thought, I'm going, because I'm going to go out, have lunch. I've got some Spanish classes. I'm doing taxi, taking my son to work later, but I will be back for members, carry on chatting members tonight. I think we'll have a look at the American elections, because we haven't really looked at them in any depth, and we'll have a good debate. Oh God. Honestly, it's like a comedy show, isn't it? Sad, really, isn't it? We're one of the most powerful countries in the world. Their election boils down to some sort of comedy show, and a choice between two people who don't seem that good, either of them, really. So it's like, you know, twonk one and twonk two. But there you go. That's what the Americans are stuck with. So I'll see you later. Thanks very much. And as always, I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.